Hello, world. This is Chris Aballo's podcast experiment, and I am Chris Aballo. Welcome to the show. Thank you for following the show at CAPEPOD on the socials, as well as on YouTube, where you should be subscribed. Of course, to see full video episodes of the show. You absolutely should be.
100% should be.
If you aren't, then right now, go do it. Even if you're listening to this on a podcast app, go to the YouTube
Skip
channel.
all the other episodes. Watch the Black Friday special.
That's right. I mean, it's a strong place to start. I'm not going to lie. If you love Chris Aballo's podcast experiment, but wish it had less Chris Aballo, definitely go with the Black Friday special. And the Black Friday takeover, Cape 238.
Oh my God.
From 2023.
So good. I also just watched the levels go up crazy. I'm sorry about that.
That's us.
Oh, I love it.
Always in the red.
Always.
Cape, embrace the chaos. Always in the red.
Always in the red. Oh God.
It could be because the show costs more than it earns. It could be that too. So it actually is a double meeting. Joining me, if you don't know already, and goddamn it, you should. Making his debut at Bravery Studios. We'll talk about that in a second. But here, please, with me for this show, Christian Cortez. Welcome
What's
back,
up,
sir.
man?
How's it going?
It's going, dude. I haven't stopped smiling since I stepped foot in the door, and now my cheeks hurt. Oh my God.
Oh, I'm going to be trying extra hard to make you laugh because I want you to be in pain by the end of this. My goal is to inflict as much pain. For my
chest hurt? Okay,
yes,
okay,
I want to inflict as much pain as possible via the show to you and anybody watching and listening.
I got to tell you though, man, it was something we were joking about before, but I'm so relaxed because I'm like, I don't have to worry about this shit.
Honestly, this is a special episode for you. This is a landmark episode because you are not engineering.
I'm not.
This is literally the first. Well, in studio, you're not engineering. You've been on Zoom and you haven't had to engineer. But like an in studio show, obviously, at a shared universe, always, every time you're on.
Every single time.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. You know what?
No, there was one time.
There was. It was the one.
Ming.
It was Chris Cubed, and Ming was the engineer. It was you and I and Chris Mad.
No, but he left. He set that up, and then I finished that. No,
I don't think so. I think he was there the whole time.
Well,
because it was so funny. I didn't expect Ming to be there for that show. Ming Chen, everybody. Because I said, well, literally, your two guys are here.
Well, second time in what, 4 years? I'm good.
Well, exactly. And he was like, no, it's cool. I'll be there. I'm like, all right, come hang out with us. Hey, man, it's cool. But still.
But this is my first time at Bravery.
As a duo show, and your first time at Bravery. So it's a landmark episode regardless.
Yeah.
You were so
love
happy.
It here. Dude, I was telling Marv before, I feel at home in recording studios, and this isn't a diss towards the shared universe, Ming. I love
we love a shared universe.
We love a shared universe, but a shared universe is set up in a very different way.
Yes.
And it's just, I'm so at home in recording studios because of my dad.
Right.
So I walked into Marv's control room and I was just like, oh my God, I could take a nap in here right now. But when I say that, I mean that as oh my God, I'm so comfortable in zones like this. I'm good around equipment like this.
Right. Because you grew up in recording studios because your dad.
110%.
Which we got all sorts of stuff we want to cover because Christian and I have done a show together in almost 6 months since the one and only.
It's been a little
special.
bit.
Yeah.
And it's been a minute where it's not dictated necessarily by a subject either. Because our last couple shows together are usually we're talking about either a film we worked on.
Yeah. Or
a very specific topic.
We talk about Christmas, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they've been topic centric, which is probably terrible English, terrible grammar, but
it's something.
I purposely didn't want to have an agenda going in, and I didn't want to pitch anything to you because I said, well, aside from the fact we can both talk.
Because we can talk for a bit. Yeah, we know we can talk, bro.
And we will. Yeah, exactly.
Bring up the Muppets and we're good.
Oh, speaking of which, I keep forgetting to put that at the top of the show. Support Cape on Patreon as well. Link in the description.
Oh, there you go. Plug.
Yeah, the Patreon is back. Flat $5 a month. You'll get pre-show stuff from this week's episode, or pretty much every weekly episode. Obviously, some are longer than others. There's basically an entire hour from the first Cape of 2025, Cape 241.
Nice.
But there will be pre-show nonsense and other behind-the-scenes stuff, as well as from the archive, because there's 5 years of video and pre-show stuff, even from 2020 when the show was on Zoom, and the early part of 2021. So there's loads and loads of pre-show behind-the-scenes stuff that will now be exclusive to Patreon.
AKA blackmail.
more or less.
Yeah.
But yeah,
someone's getting the keys to that archive.
That whole extra hour we did about the Muppets when you and I talked about the Muppets in like August of 202021.
Was that the one when we cut out the bit where I cried?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay, well you just outed yourself because
it's okay.
That's been safe in the archive.
Well, I've accepted it, but like. Honestly,
I haven't brought it up.
No, it's okay. I'm the one who brought it up.
I'm just saying, in general, I don't bring it up. I don't bring it up off mic.
No, it's okay. It's funny, but like, it's also like, it's true to how much I love those characters.
Yes.
Which is why, hey Disney, I will make you a $5 million Muppet movie. Call me.
We will make you.
Funny enough, you know what?
Would you go ask for jobs on my show and not include me? The fuck is that? Go ahead.
Let me tell you though. I've been having some fun doing a lot more writing lately, and one of the things I've been working on that I hinted at towards you is that I actually cracked a story for a Super Grover movie.
You did tell me that. Well, save it. Just listen. If anybody wants to talk, I mean,
hey, well, depending on who's controlling Sesame Street,
exactly.
By the time this comes out,
somehow there are CEOs who can't figure out a way to make money with Looney Tunes and Sesame Street. I guess they're. I
don't know.
I guess they're not that bright. But anyway,
maybe we should be CEOs. I could run Warner Brothers.
I mean, we do have our own production companies, so
yeah, this is true.
In show business, you fail upwards. So
good point.
If we're only doing short films, animated films, things like that, at a point they're going to be like, "You guys want to take a crack at this major,
absolutely,
100-year-old studio?"
I will James Gunn Warner Brothers, and it'll be amazing.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is, because you would put creative people in charge. That's the problem. There's too many empty suits telling creative people what they should be doing.
Not empty, hollow. Like these motherfuckers, they look at these legendary brands and are just like, I don't know what to do with them. What? How do you not know how to monetize Looney Tunes of all fucking things,
dude?
And how are you going to be known as the guy who let Sesame Street die? Like for dude, real?
I don't know. None of that makes sense to me. I think David Zaslav's a fucking idiot. You can quote me on that.
Same.
But it's like...
fail upward.
No, totally. It's just like this guy ran the Discovery Network. Put him in charge of one of the most major studios. Because why?
Why?
Because he produced so many shows everybody could name. Because he had a hand in some... It's so stupid. And yeah, then it's like, we're going to shelve Looney Tunes movie. Which, by the way, so I'm guessing people are aware of the Wile E. Coyote movie that was essentially shelved. Which was...
I'm still fucking mad.
What was the name of it?
Coyote versus Acme.
That's it. Coyote versus Acme. I completely...
I followed this whole production of that, so you can talk. I didn't even fucking work on the movie, but I'm just so angry at what that represents for art.
To give the bullet points, and I'm sure people are mostly... I mean, we think so because we're film nerds, so we think everybody knows about it. But if you don't, there was an animated Looney Tunes film, a hybrid, kind of like Space Jam, live action and animation, where... It was about Wile E. Coyote suing the Acme company because the products never work. He's never caught the Roadrunner with them, even though he constantly orders from Acme.
Essentially a Looney Tunes courtroom drama comedy. Yes.
Yeah, it's courtroom comedy, literally.
I'm so on board.
All-star cast. I mean, by all accounts, everybody worked on an amazing work experience. There have been screenings of it. Excellent film.
Which is crazy, too, because usually after a film wraps is when, they're like, oh God, that was miserable. It's when you, and let me tell you, making those kinds of movies is difficult.
Yeah.
Because think about this. You're making a hybrid of animation and live action. You're essentially making an Invisible Man movie.
Yes.
And having to then imagine where these characters will be placed. And then it's not as simple as picking up a red Solo cup. It's then okay, well, I got to attach a green screen rod to that Solo cup so that then I could put Bugs Bunny in later. It's the craziest thing.
It's a whole other...
And for people to come out and be like, no, it was amazing. Everybody was on their A game.
Right.
My favorite clip, though, that they released from the limited behind the scenes that it's available is the unreleased score. Someone posted a clip, and it was like one of Beethoven's songs, but it was Meeps. It was Roadrunner Meeps with a massive orchestra choir. So good.
The headline of the whole thing with Coyote versus Acme is Warner Brothers and their dipshit CEO decided we don't think we're going to make money on this movie. So we can write it off as a loss. let's not release it and just basically delete, because everything exists on a hard drive now. There is no film. There are no film canisters.
Yeah.
Unless you're like Christopher
It's a
Nolan
file.
or somebody. Yeah, exactly. Let's delete it, and then we could write it off on our taxes so we don't lose any money, because in their mind they couldn't figure out a way to make it profitable. They supposedly were, entertaining offers from, I know Prime Video was interested for a while, and some other studios to sell it, but they wanted like an insane amount for it. They wanted like $100 million or something to buy this
Meanwhile,
movie.
that movie cost, I think, 75.
Right.
Which, mind you, ain't shit.
Yeah.
Compared to like what other companies have been spending on.
What movies cost, period, now. Any mainstream movie, $75 million is low. It's tragic, but
Isn't
it's
that? Oh my God, I can't believe that just came out of your mouth.
Yeah, it is.
What we could do with $75 million.
We can make 75 movies. We can make movies the rest of our lives, you and I, split between us. Anyway, so that was obviously a whole controversy, because that means the film doesn't get released. It gets deleted. So all that work creative people did gets removed because of business purposes, even though they're in the entertainment business. This is what they produce. This is what they should release. But the best response I heard from that is, well, as taxpayers, it should be released to us for free.
Yes, it should be.
We're essentially paying for the movie.
Yeah, I think that is the coolest thing.
How is there not a legal case for that, to say like, all right, you can write it off, but you release it for free?
So I think that there was going to be one, but there is now an administration in play that is very not pro that.
No, they're very pro-profit. So they don't give a fuck.
But honest to God, anything that gets written off by film corporations should be readily available to the public.
I agree.
And not necessarily a public domain, because it's Looney Tunes. People still own the rights to those characters. But if you got a write-off of my money because you think you messed up,
dude, here's the thing.
I want to see it.
Warner Brothers has started putting classic films on their YouTube channel in full.
Yes.
So
I just watched The Phantom Tollbooth.
Of course you did. But like movies I haven't seen, like Death Trap,
I've never
and
seen
a couple older movies like have it. Even like The Adventures of Pluto and Ash is available in full. Which, listen, I like the movie. I don't love the movie. That's been a recurring discussion. It's just, I don't know how it cost $100 million circa 2000, but it's a B movie. I regard it as a very expensive B movie. It's fun for what it is. It's exactly what I expected it to be. Anyway, they can write it off, put the motherfucker on YouTube for free, and still get ad revenue off of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's the harm in that?
Now,
Especially
mind you,
once it's been written off, at least as a gesture of goodwill, it's like, okay, you're getting your $75 million back. Now put it up there so people can watch it. I don't know that they're afraid that's going to set precedent for studios, but like this is
it should. I don't give a fuck. I don't care about their feelings. It should set a fucking precedent.
I'm saying as far as studios who want to do the same thing and just get the money back. But here's the thing: that means it's not profit. It gets profitable through, let's say, YouTube ads. But I don't think other studios want the bad PR that Warner Brothers has gotten for this over the last, what's been like a year and a half now.
Yeah.
So, excuse me. I don't think other studios would go that route.
Yeah.
If Warner Bros. Decided to. Anyway.
Warner Brothers has done this not once, not twice, but 3 times with 3 different projects. Coyote versus Acme, Batgirl, and then Scoob 2. So a full-blown animated movie.
Which is the funniest thing. I'm telling you, I only went to see the Flash movie because Michael Keaton was reprising his role as Bruce Wayne in Batman. What a waste. Yeah. Everybody who's watched it already knows that.
I refuse to believe Batgirl was that bad, though.
I refuse to believe Batgirl's unreleasable.
Yeah.
Based
on there's no way.
Flaming turd of a movie.
Yeah. If you released fucking The Flash.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, and made the decision to put that in a theater.
You can name probably a dozen movies in the last 10 years that Warner Bros. Has released that you're like, oh, come on, this? I mean, I don't know.
But the tiny Looney Tunes movie that could, you're just like, it won't make any money?
I don't know.
Are you kidding me?
Well, even Batgirl, it's like, put it on Max. People are going to watch. People watch the 4-hour Justice League for...
You know what's crazy?
Curiosity in my case, but it's like people at least watch that once. You're telling me that didn't turn
I think part of the thought process, this is super, super nerdy, but I think part of the thought process too is that technically Space Jam 2 bombed. But that's only because of the pandemic. Like that movie was mid-pandemic when it was released. Not quality. Like it's not a fantastic sequel.
I think, I put that in the same boat as Coming to America because I think people would have gone out opening weekend And word would have gotten out that it sucked, and then it would have had a huge drop second weekend. So, I mean, look, we just saw that. I haven't seen Captain America Brave New World, but like
I don't give a shit.
We just saw that with that movie. Like, had a big opening weekend and then dropped like 60% the second weekend, which isn't unheard of. But
for a Marvel movie?
People didn't really respond to it. So it had a drop. And I think those two movies would have been the same thing because the Space Jam: A New Legacy, by all accounts, not a great movie. So same with coming.
It's got 2D animation. Like, that's about it.
Yeah. But Coming to America, I don't know anybody who's watched that a second time. I'm sure they
I haven't
exist,
watched it yet.
But don't bother. Not unless you want. It's the same thing I've said about a couple of movies. Like not unless you want to, like the Flash movie. Not unless you want to retcon history as far as what happened in the first movie. Yeah. Don't do that. Anyway, I had a thought. Speaking of things that we hadn't planned to talk about, but while you're in the control room. And talking about how comfortable you are growing up with your father making music. And for those who don't know, for those who are getting into the ground floor of CAPE, Christian's father and uncle were legendary, I'm not overselling it, I think it's fair to say, legendary hip-hop duo PM Dawn.
Yeah.
And you literally grew up in recording studios watching your father work and creating. Now, I stopped doing it on the show like 4 years ago because I was like, it seems kind of pointless, but I privately complain about it all the time because every year there's a whole brouhaha, to use a phrase I probably never used on the show before, regarding the nominees.
You didn't look comfortable saying it either. You were like, well, I was like, you said it and you made a grimace where it was like, brouhaha?
Well, because it's more than a kerfuffle. And that I have used on the show. So let's call it a brouhaha. When it comes to who is nominated for and ultimately inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Okay. Now, granted, I'm not in a band that is anywhere near getting nominated. I never have been.
Not yet.
But I think if it, it's possible, but
you never know.
Doubtful. But regardless, I don't place value on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because it's a museum. It was started by, a bunch of business people because they want to co-opt the term rock and roll because it's a cool term. It's the Music Hall of Fame because it's not exclusively for rock and roll. The people who've been passed over or the people who've taken decades to be inducted, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
Now, do you have feelings one way or the other? Because PM Dawn has been eligible for years. Do you have feelings one way or the other about the nomination or induction of PM Dawn? Is that something you've thought about?
Honest to God, no.
Here's an exclusive.
No, I've never, which is crazy, because my dad didn't even care about stuff like that.
I wouldn't have thought so, but that's why I'm like doesn't mean something different to you being outside of it, but being one of the
I don't need an organization like that to cement worth in my father's legacy.
Their rubber stamp.
I'll tell you, you know what? Here's where I understood I'm good with where PM Dawn is at. I posted a video on TikTok being like, hey, this is who my dad is.
Yes.
And those comments from people who were like, dude, I listened to your dad's music in high school.
The love
that I got. And let me tell you,
I scrolled them. It was
almost
positive.
It's almost unanimously positive things that people are saying. And mind you, I'll be honest, PM Dawn has a complicated legacy in some people's eyes, especially with all the KRS-One stuff. But looking at those comments, I was like, that's my dad's legacy. People have very fond moments with my dad's music.
Totally.
That's more important than to be in in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because also I think I would put more weight on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame if it was something that was the Recording Academy was a part of.
Ah, that's a fair point. Okay.
If the Recording Academy, the Grammys and all those guys were associated with it, I mean, right. I don't give much stock to that anyway. But those guys,
at least those are peers.
Yeah, at least those are peers, and
Jan
also
Winter is another idiot who hits a major corporation.
And the Grammys company. And the Recording Association also preserve. They're not just oh, this is great, then nothing is done. It's okay, it's almost like a Library of Congress type deal. It's well, then let's preserve the music.
Preservation, I agree.
And I get it, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame does that to an extent, but it's only with the artists that they pick. And I'm well...
Yeah, and while there are artists who do vote, they are, the voting body is made up of a lot of artists, and some more outspoken than others. I mean, Tom Morello has been very vocal about people who he believes should be in, and he is a voting member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah. And
I'm mad the Wonders aren't in it.
They're decades overdue.
That's how much I care. Although I will say the only band that I've ever really adamantly been You know what? I do think that they deserve it. It's the Monkees, especially what they grew into. I get how they started.
Right.
But what they ended up becoming almost kind of outshines the way that they began because they ended up taking over.
Well, but that's also one of those things. And look, I feel this way about media in general. And there are very few people who are outspoken like this, at least on let's say on a mainstream level. Independently, it's a different thing. I feel like there's more of an understanding. But when you're a certain level in the mainstream film and television business, I think maybe people just don't say it, but I think there's less of a perspective on it because so much, especially now, is about opening weekend and tickets and all that other stuff, and profitability. Like all that matters is how much money you make at the box office and blah 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 blah.
It's not even the box office anymore, dude. It's just in general.
Well, it's how profitable your film was. But the most recent example I could think of is Kevin Costner when it came to Horizon, where he said, box office opening weekend. He's like, that doesn't matter. Like time will tell if this film is good or not, if it's worthwhile. Like you can't judge it by all those metrics. And it's true. Think of how many things.
No, it's something I believe in
value. I mean,
it's something I believe in. No, 110%.
And this is something I haven't told you, but when you were discussing with me some of the, let's say, surface level business of PM Dawn and some recent changes that have been made for the positive, including that they previously hadn't been, but PM Dawn albums are streaming now.
Properly.
Yes, properly. The original recordings.
Yeah.
You don't know how many people I told who were over the moon about like, oh my God, I could finally listen to Said Drifter or whatever. Like people
really?
Yes, because that stuff, I mean, occasionally some stuff exists on YouTube, like low quality, but that gets flagged by, for
it
copyright.
Goes away.
Exactly. So it doesn't last long. But I told so many people, because obviously they know I'm close to you, that like, hey, guess what? Thankfully, a wrong has been righted and this stuff is now available. So many people excited that they can revisit not just songs, not just Set Adrift on Memory Bliss, the albums, and actually go back and do a deep dive, which is one of the positives of streaming. As much as I'm still a physical media guy. I do deep dives on streaming. I will binge on an artist and go chronologically through their. I
just did that with a group I just saw, Tuxedo.
Right.
I've been doing that with their albums, and it's awesome.
I love doing that. I love doing revisits on artists who, even where I just knew the singles, I'm like, let me check out the albums and kind of go from there. Because a lot of.
You know who's another artist I just did that with? The Smithereens. I've enjoyed.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I love the Smithereens so much.
I've stumbled upon A Girl Like You, and I was like, I like this track a lot. And then I heard them in Reacher in this new season, and I was like, what?
I saw they posted about that. I do follow the Smithereens. And they were talking about Blood and Roses, I think.
Yeah, Blood and Roses.
Yeah.
And
More Jersey legends.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, this is a cool band, and I've been really enjoying their albums.
And those are really, really great.
But it is really cool to kind of have a say in what happens with that now, because like,
oh, for sure,
that was a long road to get there.
Yes, no, and I'm beyond thrilled. Because I've been saying to you, not to pat myself on the back, but I was saying, like, look, man, if I get any kind of clout legally, I'm like, we're going to make sure your family is in control of everything. And thankfully, that's the way it is. Again, not to get too deep into the weeds. I'm certainly not trying to get you to talk about anything.
I'll give you a Cape exclusive.
Go ahead.
I am trying to figure out a PM Dawn movie. I've that's always been something that's been on the table.
We talked about that privately.
Yeah, we talked about that privately, but like there you go.
At different levels, yeah. So
but like
could happen.
And my thing is Dad loved movies, so I'm not going to do like the traditional biopic. That's going to be the key.
Right.
I'm not doing the rise and fall and all that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm actually going to do something really, really cool.
Nice.
That is also
like
approved by.
Whereas there's a through line, but you keep flashing back to different moments.
I'll explain after the show.
Okay.
It's
not that much
cool.
Exclusive.
All right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it kind of like Clerks, where it's kind of like a day in the life kind of thing. And my approach is, what's somebody's life like the day before their life changes forever?
Ooh.
So instead of like a biopic where it's like, okay, here's how he learned all this stuff, which we will find out.
Right.
It's more of a snapshot in time of what Jersey City and my dad and his brothers were doing in that time when they were kids.
Right.
What's family life for a small black family, a big black family that's kind of struggling.
Right.
So I think that was kind of at least where I'm taking the approach.
Right. And look, there's a lot of nostalgia for the 80s and 90s now too.
Who are you telling?
So yeah, I know. Wait, you barely were there for the 90s. I don't want to hear it from you.
I was there,
I was
okay?
there for almost the entirety of the 80s and all of the 90s, so I don't want to hear shit.
All right, fine.
But anyway, that right now, I feel like there is a lot of, there's definitely like nostalgia for that. Like there's definitely a curiosity, and there's a lot of stuff we're seeing. I mean, listen, I've been saying for a while now, especially having seen, did you watch the Bon Jovi doc on Hulu?
Not yet.
Part, it's so good. And I've cracked a lot of jokes about Bon Jovi, particularly in the last like 15 years.
I've witnessed you crack jokes about Bon Jovi.
I've mocked, but the reality is, Thank You Goodnight, the Bon Jovi documentary that's on Hulu, was amazing. I split it between 2 nights, so I watched parts 1 and 2 first night and 3 and 4 the following night. And not that I never, even when the music wasn't my thing, like when they kind of turned toward like the
you were
country
still like,
adult contemporary.
you were like, okay,
mid-2000s.
I respect you. You're an artist. You made it.
I mean, I appreciate anybody who has gotten to that level because and most bands broke up. Most of the 80s bands split up in the 90s. And the fact that they found a way to kind of keep going, and even when it meant lineup changes and all that other shit, it's really, really tough. And this documentary drives it home as far as like, oh no, we got to the top. And here's how hard it was. And here's how miserable we were when we got there. And here's how broken we were because of it. Like, so, and look, as somebody where music was the primary career goal for me for 15 years, to even have the perspective of like, oh, okay, all the things I thought I wanted come at, oh, what a price. So it did help give me that perspective, on top of like, I'm huge on like everybody's memoirs and autobiographies too. Like I drink everybody's in. But,
dude, I'm the same way. Like, that's why I like biopics. Like, I know they're kind of like a played out, they can be played out. I love those kinds of movies. I love hearing those stories. I love docs too. Like, don't get me wrong. I love when it's way more like, this is actually what happened. Funny enough, I watched a movie that like, when I first heard about it, I was like, there ain't no fucking way I'm seeing that. And then I saw it and I was like, holy crap.
What's that?
Better Man. That fucking, that weird ass monkey movie. It was actually good. And I'm not even playing you, dude.
I'm taking your word for it, but I'm not watching it.
Dude, so I only knew about Robbie Williams because he had a doc on Netflix.
Before you switch to the next video, subscribe.
Shut up. Listen, that his doc is actually cool though. Like, it's because I didn't know who the fuck Robbie Williams is, but I'd watched that on Netflix first, and I was like, okay, he's got a crazy story. But the movie, it plays into the best elements of what biopics should be, and it does it in a grandiose fucking style. So fucking awesome time.
Okay.
So
out of morbid curiosity, I could see that as being something I'll watch.
Don't get me wrong.
Like,
and by the way,
a group of like other reluctant viewers, being like, oh man, let's see how this is like Robbie Williams.
Yeah, drag him in and be like, listen, trust me. But at the same time, what was so cool,
2 hours, I could be singing to The Time I Lost. I want you back. I want you back for good.
No.
Because I want to.
Well, you hate everything, so you might hate it anyway.
Oh, you too? Oh, Chris is just a big fucking contrarian. Chris doesn't like anything. But that was a huge bomb. Nobody liked it. Okay.
You know, I do find it funny though. Like, and from what I've read, Robbie Williams also finds it funny is that it also bombed in his home country.
Well, that's the
nobody gives a shit.
He's actually a household name in the UK.
He's a huge name in the UK and overseas.
Yeah,
and then his movie comes out and nobody goes to see it. First off, I can't imagine being in that position. That must be humiliating.
Well, by the same token, you know, the Pharrell movie comes out in the Lego style, and nobody went and saw that either. So
that bombed on a weirder level though, because that was
the same thing. Like, we're gonna tell the story, but stylistically go in a direction that good luck connecting to it.
Here's the odd thing though, because I've watched Piece by Piece.
Connecting is a bit of a pun on the Lego thing.
See,
that's not.
With Piece by Piece though, it was different because it's actually a documentary. It's not a fucking.
It is, but the visual component
is off-putting.
Yes, it's a challenge for people, you know.
Because they're like, wait, am I going to see a documentary on Pharrell, which people do want, or is this a kids movie? It's a little bit of both. And like, I kind of like those kind of creative challenges, but at the same time, I will be the first to admit that's tough.
Yeah,
that's
a tough sell.
First off, documentary, which try getting a child to sit through that, and then Lego. Like, I mean, no offense, the first one comes out, everything kind of downhill after that, except for Lego Batman.
Like, Lego Batman's the best above all, hands down.
It's a fantastic movie, but after that, all the Lego movies start to
they made
flop.
less and less money. Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, to the point that like the second Lego movie sequel like bombed wholeheartedly.
Oh no, it did. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it was a moment, and then it was over. Like, you can't. I've been saying that for a long time. You can't have like 5-6 years between.
No,
movies.
absolutely not.
For the sequel. I mean, look, I didn't see either Aquaman movie, but that was another example. It's like you're going to release these movies like 5-6 years apart. Like, you don't have any of the momentum. I mean, say what you want about the Police Academy series. Not a great movie series. They did 5 movies in 6 years, so they continued to kind of make money. You know, like they still
110%.
So you can't wait that long.
That just happened recently too. Den of Thieves. That was a movie a couple of years ago. Yeah, and I actually remember seeing it.
It was like 2018.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. I was like, that was a fun action movie.
And the third one's on the way.
What?
Got greenlit.
So like these huge gaps don't work. Either you're not going to commit to a sequel, or wait even longer for the fucking cult following to develop.
I get the idea. Like, not everyone wants to sign like a 5-year, 3-movie contract, something like that. I understand that that's become a standard thing in light of Marvel films, DC films, all of that.
Yeah.
You're signing up for.
Nor should it be
years
for when you're signing up for single films.
But when you're talking about a production scale, I don't know. But again, now here we are making our pitch for being CEOs. But and saying no to the Lego Movie and Monkey Man or whatever it's called. But I generally don't know the name of the movie.
Better Man.
Better Man. Okay, thank you. You just said it, and it immediately just left my mind. It's like, whatever. Well, isn't that movie called Monkey Man? Isn't there a movie out called? Or
I will tell you though, it has inspired a parody in me to want to make a short biopic movie about myself. Because I just think that that's so funny.
In GTA style.
Either in GTA or live action, but mine is called Puppet Man, and I'm played by a puppet version of me that I also perform in voice acting.
I will pay for that.
With songs all written by me that nobody fucking knows.
Dude, I will write a blank check. I might be the target demographic for this.
Audience of one.
Yes, exactly. I'm like George Harrison from Monty Python's Life of Brian. I'm like, I just
and the
want
whole
to see this
and
movie.
the whole gimmick is like, you're supposed to know who he is. Hi, I'm like, I'm Christian Cortez. You know exactly who I am.
You may know me for Chris Ball's podcast experiment. They don't. Oh,
yeah, no,
okay.
Exactly. Like, play everything like everybody knows it. Like all these things are legendary shows. Like me getting the opportunity to work in a shared universe. It's like a fucking mic drop moment. Boom, boom.
Yeah,
boom.
exactly.
And then the whole thing is a musical, but it's me in a little fucking Kermit style puppet.
Are you gonna make puppets Mig and Mike? Because I would fucking love that.
No, everybody else is played by people. I'm the only puppet.
I'm financing this. This is going to happen, everybody. This is the real exclusive for this episode. Chris is going to fund Christian's biopic. Because I just want to see.
Doesn't it sound so ridiculous, though?
It is. You know what it is? This is the short that plays before our feature film.
Oh my God, it's like a Pixar short.
Yes.
What's even funnier is that it's a biopic and it's 5 minutes long.
Yeah. Well, you're like 11, so it shouldn't be that long.
Oh, that's even funnier. That's actually a
by
good
the time
idea.
this comes out, you'll be 30. Wow.
Yeah, don't remind me.
That's wild. Oh, stop it. 30's nothing.
Speak for yourself.
It's kid stuff. I am. It's kid stuff, okay? I was just 30 like 2 weeks ago. All right?
Exactly.
So, wow.
No, but like, where were we?
I don't know. So, but while we're talking creatively, because it's been a little while, so we've talked on the phone
we're podcasting, but this is honestly us catching up as well.
Yeah, we were kind of catching up pre-show a bit. I was trying to talk to Christian while he's just walking around mouth agape looking at the studio.
Literally, bro. Literally.
So I was talking at him more than to him, but
I'm still like it, to be fair.
Right now, I get it. Listen, you're good. Are you going to leave tonight, or are you literally going to like rent the place and stay over? Because I have a feeling that's on the table for you. I mean, make Marv an offer.
I don't want to drive home right now. Can I just crash here on the couch?
Hey man, yeah. Maybe. Is he? No, he's not back yet. Okay. Marv stepped out and left us in charge. He's seen what happened when we got left the shared universe.
Oh, there you go.
Or even without you, a couple of times I had to engineer shows on my own. But anyway, but we were talking about related to movies and all this other stuff, because obviously we've worked on a bunch of stuff. Short film, The Out, which I wrote and directed and co-starred in. Christian and I produced it together. You can find the link to that in the description. Whether you're listening or watching, link is down below, along with our socials as well. If you want to follow us, I don't need to repeat them. If you want to follow us, you will.
You'll
just click on the link. Exactly. But you can watch our short film, The Out. But we were talking about some creative stuff that's going on, just in terms of getting stuff done. So when we're looking at this stuff from the outside, we're not, we don't work in mainstream film and television, so
not yet.
But we're not exactly talking out of our asses when it comes to this, because we do create stuff. So we're not just like these dudes who just criticize
we're not like
shit on YouTube. Yeah, like that's not what this is about. We are coming at it from a place of our perspective, how we would do. Oh, totally.
Yeah.
And at the same time, understanding like, well, we are making it for us, but you actually need to be. Same with this. That's a reason. Like, I've had a couple of people say to me, because I keep doing it, and they're like, it's not. One friend of mine who hosts her own show, because I'm going to imitate her because she's going to get a kick out of it. I said like, yeah, but see, you're not fair though, because you talk to the camera, you play the camera. I'm like, they're watching the show.
Because they're the audience.
Like, I'm like, you were there for what we're talking about, so you need to engage them. Like that's.
That's me and you kind of understand that, because I'm also the on-air personality as well for my own stuff. I have to be, and that's just second nature.
It is. Well, it is a technique, but at the same time, if you watch any talk show, they do address the camera. They do gesture toward the camera, particularly any show where they have like a live audience. I've often said Craig Ferguson's one of my biggest influences for his run at the Late Late Show.
We need others. We need more.
You have to. Well, that was supposed to happen, but apparently that deal fell through. There was a TV deal in place for, I think it was with Sony or something like that. I guess nothing came of it.
Can you fumble the bag that bad?
Dude, I don't know. I was disappointed that CNN did a whole documentary about late night. It was like a multi-part thing about late night talk shows. They didn't even fucking mention him. So I heard that.
That's
I'm
bullshit.
Like, I'm not watching it. The guy did 10 years. It's like, and you can't skip to Corden. You can't talk about James fucking Corden, that dickbag, and completely skip over the guy who preceded him, who actually has an audience and who people like. Anyway, so we're
very passionate about our art,
clearly, but and also willing to defend those who inspire us. But no, it is something. We are aware that there's an audience who's watching our stuff, including this. So yes, we are looking at you and engaging you and talking to you. We're not just sitting here broing around like, hey man, you know what we should do? Or you know what they should have done? Or something like that. We are coming at it from a place of like, we've had to do this on some level. Mm-hmm. The levels where we are, and had to work our way up to the level we're at. By the way, we're not beginning, but we're not.
This is years of experience and not just talking about it. Because listen, it's one thing to think you understand how these things are made. It's a whole other thing to be in the midst of it to make them.
Yeah. Now we were talking about the trouble of a couple of things. I kind of want to put them up front as opposed to try to create some like artificial segue that I'm trying to pass off as natural. Mm-hmm. We're talking about business versus personal, and how those two things get conflated by certain people, and also the idea of just getting stuff done and the difficulty of getting things done. Because look, the fact is, and look, this even played into why Cape didn't have a weekly run in 2024. When things go according to plan, when things actually work, that is the exception that proves the rule. The rule is it's a lot to get any kind of project together and off the ground, to coordinate people, to get something done, which is a win in itself. And we did a filmmaking special as well about the Out. You can check it out wherever you're watching or listening. It's on the Cape channel.
And to add to that, if it's okay,
versions, of course,
is that even if you do get to the point where you get to make it, it is literally like things will go wrong. And you have to prepare.
And that's exactly what, I mean, we're both in that position. We have been in that position with our second shorts.
Yes.
Okay, so mine was the Out. Yours was Just Desserts. We had our premieres back-to-back nights at Smodcastle Film Festival in 2023, which was amazing.
Still a highlight.
Without a doubt. What a place to have a world premiere for our debuts.
100%.
And
also, terrifying.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah. Because again,
terrifying.
Like especially even with doing this,
because both of our screenings sold out.
Yeah,
and
I'm not saying
our block sold out.
Not in a boastful way, but there was a lot of interest from people, like intimates, not like the public at large necessarily, not as far as we know, but people just like, oh, I want to see it, I want to be there, I want to support you guys. So that was a big deal.
Oh, big time.
So, and yours was opening night. Yours was literally the first block of the festival. So that was a lot of pressure. And
tell them I'm wrong. I was shaking so bad.
I had to calm them down.
Like, he had, oh my God, like, because I made a comedy, so I was worried, and I get it, Kevin Smith, Smiley Castle Film Festival, you think, like, oh, people are expecting the laughs.
And he introduced you and your block.
So the pressure was on, man.
I get it.
But when they start laughing.
Oh, that's a huge deal. When an audience responds to anything,
it's magic.
It is. Well, it's the hardest thing in the world to make strangers laugh. That's why I think the hardest job in show business, seriously, is doing stand-up comedy. Because it's fine that we make each other laugh.
Yeah,
that's great. Making strangers laugh,
a whole other thing.
Having them generating an involuntary reaction from them is a whole other thing. And that's when you're standing up on stage alone. And look, I've done it. I've performed music solo, but I've always had a guitar in my hand. Yeah. You know, so I'm still doing something, or I played in bands. So I'm surrounded by other people, so you don't feel alone. To stand up on a stage by yourself and try to make strangers laugh, to me, is the most terrifying thing. You know, I know people don't.
That's
like
why our mutual buddy
speeches.
KP Burke has like that's honestly like why I admire his work so much. Not only is he very funny, like the fact that he just has that in him.
Oh, that is
so so seemingly
he does
effortlessly.
Our buddy Joe Weber. You know, the idea to get up there night after night and do that is. That again, for me, that's the hardest job in show business. And I get asked, and frankly, I've had both Joe and KP encourage me, like, you should really do stand-up. I'm like, I don't feel pulled to do it, and it's really fucking hard. Like, if I felt that I've done some open mics and stuff like that, but it wasn't my thing. And so much of it is you have to really want to do it because it is so difficult to do, and I just don't feel pulled to do that.
Yeah.
So I get a huge compliment though that those dudes have encouraged me, along with several other people, in light of me doing this show, because every comedian.
I do think you would be good at stand up. I do see it, but I could understand because I've thought about it too. Like, it's always crossed my mind, especially working with KP and Joe and all those guys.
Without a doubt, yeah.
But then I realized, like, dude, with how nervous I was when Just Desserts premiered, now imagine that every night in front of other sold out crowds.
At least you were surrounded by people who were there rooting for you.
Yeah.
Whereas
comedy,
you're doing a stand up gig in Tallahassee.
Stand up comedy, yes. Film comedy, though, it's like, people are like, they are rooting. They're hoping that this is like a fun experience. And
for sure. And look, I can say that even playing with bands. There's very few times people will pay money to have a bad time.
Yeah.
So, like, people do come out and want to have a good time. It doesn't always work out that way, but I get the idea of, having to do that for an audience. Look, I'd be happy doing this in front of an audience. And there have been ongoing conversations about it. Frankly, Mike Zapsik has been very much just like, when are we doing live shows? I'm like, all right. He's done comic convention panels repeatedly. So he's been in front of an audience. He's played a guy gave a TED talk, for Christ's sake. So he's fine getting up in front of an audience and making them laugh. And he's like, we should really do it. I'm like, we're going to do it. It's all happening. It's part of the long-term plan for Cape. But anyway, we've had difficulty with our follow-up films. Now, just to kind of set it up for everybody. Now, we're not trying to be vague and ambiguous. We're just not going into too much detail because nothing is out there yet. So mine shall remain nameless.
Mine,
yours,
nameless.
Nameless. Okay, that's fine. Just to kind of set everybody up. So we're both supposed to shoot in November of 2024. The first weekend of November, we were shooting yours.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a struggle all the way up to the day of shooting because the situation kept changing. Mm-hmm. And as a result, it was everybody who was there, for the most part, had worked on Just Desserts. Right, your first film.
We had a few new faces, but we had a much smaller version of the crew we did on Just Desserts.
Very competent. Everybody got along with each other, so that was no problem.
And that's the thing. Everything shot in the can looks amazing. That I can confirm.
Right.
It's a good-looking movie.
But because it was a struggle, you have yet to touch it.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like, I haven't asked about that for the last couple months, and I just kind of quickly asked before we got started today, what's going on? Like, is there a cut? Blah, blah, blah. And you said you haven't cut it because you still have PTSD on some level for that weekend. And it was tough. And we went all the way up. We shot it over Saturday and Sunday, and basically shot
Sunday was the better day.
Yes, but still ended up shooting till like as late as we could shoot.
Yeah,
like it still took 2 very full days. And they were night shoots, so we started late and they ran very late.
With film shoots, you typically want to keep your days to 8 hours. If you go over, you definitely want the permission of your crew. And if they're on board, cool. But don't push your luck, because that kindness has a limit, and I've never taken advantage of that kindness. Even on Just Desserts, we went over, I think, one day, and well, not an entire day. Like, we went over our time on one day.
You were behind.
But we were like, hey, would y'all be okay with us pushing lunch? We did like an entire crew thing. Like, hey, if we do this, we'll be on time, but we just cut into our lunch a little bit.
Right.
Are you cool with that? And everyone was cool with it.
Yeah. I mean, that even and look, as just there on both films, granted, I was a production assistant, a PA on Just Desserts, but I mean, even like I was beat on Sunday night, so I wasn't there for the wrap. I left like 2-3 hours before you guys wrapped because I was just like, dude, I'm exhausted, and I had like my drive home was about an hour and a half, and I was just like, dude, I'm tired now, and I still got to drive home. Are you okay with wrapping me? I'm sorry, I don't want to do this to you, but I'm like, these have been long days. And I was only there for 2 days. I wasn't there Friday because I already had tickets to a concert before you'd asked me. So I was only there for days 2 and 3. But at the end of that third day, I was just like, dude, I'm sorry. I really don't want to leave.
I get it.
And I wasn't crucial, just being a production assistant. Like at that point,
dude,
you guys
let me tell you, it was so awesome having you there because like, well, everybody there was working on that film as a friend of mine.
Yes.
But you were a homie in a different sense where it was like, oh, this is my buddy Chris who hasn't made, this is the out Chris.
Right. We already discussed the out. We're going to do it. You read it and said, I will produce this with you. But this was
this was a preview of what could have been a version of the out.
Yes, and also was you and I working together outside of
podcasting
of Cape. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and Cape.
So that was important. And at the same time, with it being a larger crew, and with you and I being so close, I was your emotional support, Chris, which is fine because I knew.
Well, on Just Desserts, it was not needed as much. It was great to have you there.
Yes, but that was kind of the idea of like, hey man, come check everything out. But it's like I don't want to say you deferred to me because not that necessarily you're asking my opinion, but the support was important. And I get that. Listen, I like having that too. You know,
that's always been my thing because I always know, because that's another thing about film. It's very collaborative. I take pride in the fact that I think if you come up with something better on one of my films, come up to me privately, tap me on the shoulder and be like, yo, what if we tried this? And if it works, I'm fucking down for it.
Yeah.
My only ask is just don't do it in front of the crew where I then have to make it second decision. I will pull you to the side.
Yes. And that's any rule for directors, period, producers, anybody. If there's a conversation that needs to be had, you talk one-on-one. You don't talk in front of a crew. You don't ask somebody something. You don't give a critique.
It's a respect thing. It's like
if they ask you in front of everybody, maybe that's a different story. If they're like, "How was that one?" You know, something.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
different.
Like,
it's very different.
That was good. Let's slow the pace down by just a little bit and do it again. You know, like something general like that, like a non-specific piece of direction is fine.
But anything where it's like a line change or something like that, or my thing, a funnier joke. Pull me aside. Tell me there's a different version of it. I want it to be funny.
Yeah.
Because then you're making me look better anyway.
Well, that's the thing. Like, when Ugo and I were rehearsing the out, it was, he had a couple of like just some wording choices he wanted to. Because a little bit was me, I'm writing,
Well, that was also the way that your collaboration worked on that. You guys have been rehearsing so much up until that point that, of course he would contribute a couple things here and there. But it's not necessarily a credited rewrite. Like, that's a whole other thing.
No, and I agree. And I'm fine with having that kind of feedback. I'm not so like, no, as the writer, you need to do it and, blah, blah, blah. And,
so it was cool to have you on Just Desserts because you had read the script and really dug it. But then on set, you would pull me aside and be like, oh, what if what if this instead a little bit?
Yeah, I did.
And then I would...
see, we can't reference certain things because that's not publicly available yet. It should be.
Not yet.
It's not.
This year.
Okay.
This year.
All right.
But it really worked out for the best.
Yes.
And it was awesome. Those 3 days, you had to leave early. But I look back on Just Desserts very, very fondly.
Oh, yeah.
I was exhausted.
Yeah. Now, you made your day, though. Like, you finished when you were supposed to finish on your third day.
Yeah.
Which is great. So, and that was kind of the point. I was just exhausted, and I'm like, yeah, you kind of don't need me at this point. Like, you guys, you knew you were going to get everything you needed. So that was another reason I felt less guilty about going.
Yeah.
But I was so beat. And you were just exhausted on another level. Same thing, with the out. There was a lot of prep going on. We ended up doing about 2 months of.
Oh boy.
2.5 months from the point when Ugo agreed he wanted to do it it was 2.5 months that we actually shot it. It was mid-January of 23. We shot at the end of March of 23. So there was pre-production, but it was, and we talk about this in more detail in the filmmaking special, but just for the sake of the giving you broad strokes, the abridged version, we kept trying to find a venue to shoot it in. We were having trouble finding it. At one point, I had a conversation about having a set built at a studio space here in North Jersey, and had a handshake deal basically to get that done. But then we had some schedule conflicts because different things were behind. And it was like, okay, we're not going to be able to do it on this date. So therefore, I had to pull back from that deal because I was like, look, we have crew who's not going to be available that day. And at this point, we don't have a new date yet. I don't want you to hold anything for me. I'll let you know when things regroup. And by the time everything had regrouped, we found a space. Yeah. So it was like, oh, the good news is we now have, a space to do it in. Red Tank Brewery.
It was literally right in front of us the whole time.
And that's the thing. It's under our nose. And
those things happen too.
Yeah, exactly. But we planned for 2 days. We shot it in one. And
very not the norm.
No, not at all. And worked out ultimately for the best.
Yes.
Because, and even when it came to the fact that it was literally just myself, Christian, Ugo, co-star, and then Nick, who was director of photography. Yeah, who shot it. It was literally a 4-person crew. Technically 5 with Tom there as like uncredited PA/location manager, because he was supervising us while we were shooting in the brewery. He was just present there. So I mean, kind of a 5-person
He forgot
crew.
Our uncredited nuisance, the fire alarm.
Oh, The outtakes from the out are available as well. So if you go watch it, you'll see on the channel there's outtakes. It's on a separate channel if you didn't notice. If you didn't click it already, which is fine, watch it after you finish the episode. But yeah, that was like, we knew that was like, okay, lightning's never going to strike twice again. We did this in a day.
No.
It's shocking. When I did Q&As after both film festivals, after both screenings,
people were shocked.
Yeah, no, oh my God, because you're surrounded in large part by filmmakers and actors, and they're just like, oh my God. When I say we shot 14 pages in 6 hours, like people are like they couldn't believe it. And I freely admit, like, no, that's never going to happen.
I just got off a shoot where we did almost 20 pages in 2 days, and it was like, huh.
Yeah, I know.
Heavy.
And that was it. That's why we planned for 2 days, because the original crew, the conversation you and I had with them was
it was a different thing.
Yes, this crew, the most we've shot in a day is 7 pages. So you should plan for 2.
Yeah.
And fast forward after we recorded some rehearsals, and you watched Ugo and I rehearse, and we were kind of like breezing through it, and you said, I think we could do this in a day. But it's a good thing we have the second day just for safety. And it went great. Now, fast forward to my second film, which as of this recording has yet to be shot. And we're supposed to record, we're supposed to do 2 days the week before Thanksgiving. And then we're going to pick up a third day in December. And 2 weeks before, we ran into not 1, but 2 schedule conflicts. And there will certainly be a special discussing the film, once it's made and once it's out there and all of that.
And it will be. That's also part of it too, is like, you got to, like, some of these projects, like, you just got to do it.
Yeah.
And
but this one, same. It's a bigger production.
Yeah.
Yours was kind of the opposite. Your first one was a bigger production. Your second one was a smaller production.
Yeah.
Mine's the other way around. I mean, everything's bigger than a 4-person crew, so it was going to be bigger regardless. But like, this next one is a 3-day shoot for me. There's a bigger crew. There are more roles to fill. Obviously, there's only 2 characters in the out, so there's a bigger
cast. Bigger. It's a step up.
And that was the point. I regarded the out as the demo tape, and this second film is the EP.
Yeah.
So I liken it to a music career in that way. And
I do love that.
Thanks, man. That's what I thought. I was like, there's going to be 2, maybe 3 EPs before the feature-length album drops. Full-length album, but I'm trying to combine the 2. Anyway, so unfortunately that fell apart, and there was a way we could have shot it that we could have done a version of it, but I said, let's just do it at the beginning of next year. There's no way we're going to get this thing shot before Christmas. I was surprised things moved as quickly as they had through the month of October, to where, we're going to shoot this thing in November? Awesome. Let's get it in the can. Like, having worked on a couple projects, mine was literally next in line, and things came together very quickly, and then again, fell apart 2 weeks before because things happen.
Yeah.
And that is the rule. Shit happens. It's the truth. And I said, let's just push into next year. Like, I don't want to have this be less than, because we can find a way to make it work. I'd rather do it later, and the extra time will serve us well. Now, here we are sitting the day we are recording. This is March 1st. Nothing is on the schedule as of right now. Those discussions are ongoing. And look, even to the point where, the whole reason I grew the beard, which was...
It was for the movie.
It was for the movie, and it was completely off the grid. That was my plan. Like, we shot, we did the Cape One Night Only special at the end of September, and it came out, I think, 2 weeks later. And literally the day after that special, I stopped shaving and started growing the beard because I thought, well, let me grow the beard through October because we're going to be shooting in November. Yeah. So that was the point. And, now 4.5 of the last 6 months, I've looked like this. Because after things were delayed, I shaved it off that night because I was like, all right, I'm not going to live as this character.
I mean, to be fair, like, you rocked the beard.
Well, thank you. I've got almost universally positive feedback. This is my being like
it works for you.
It does.
Listen, what I think you guys need to also understand is, like, I know that I've been like, well, this is also how this works, and like, well, this is the truth. A lot of why, like, films that you hear about and then you see them get made years later is because this is it's a version of what we go through.
Totally.
Like, things change. Like, the way that our cast works is, like, we work off of their availability, and then off of that, we then work off of crew availability.
Yeah, because everybody at this stage, just to piggyback on top of that, is that everybody does other jobs.
Yeah.
Whether they be, for hire jobs in film and television, or just, let's say, run
like I work in sound.
Day jobs. Yeah, exactly. But people do work, so you are figuring things out around the availability of a collective schedule. So getting a bunch of people together for 3 days in advance, I mean, everybody needs at least like a month notice just to be able to plan, even if it's for a weekend. If you're shooting during the week, people need to take off work. That needs to be figured out. But even for a weekend, because everybody's, as we've talked about a lot over the last 2 years, people are busier than they ever have been. All of us collectively are just busier. So you kind of need to let people know in advance to see if it's workable, and also to find people who are right for it. And yeah, it's been difficult. And now, since it's been, the whole thing that I thought was going to be interesting, aside from the fact that I want to play a character that didn't necessarily look like me, because in the out, I just look like me. And in this one, even having the beard, I was like, well, that's something different. And since I wasn't doing any more cape, although we did do the filmmaking special in December, but that wasn't released right away, I said, well, no one's going to see me in the beard, so when I show up on the poster and in the film with the beard, then hey, great. Now here we are, and we've done some Cape episodes in 2025, and I have the beard, and I've been, photos and videos of me on social media with the beard, and it's like, okay, now it does look like me because this is what I look like in 2025. So even that intention is kind of like now am I going to stick with this for the film, or am I going to do something different with it? Now, granted, that's a very small element in all of it, but I just started growing this because I didn't shave the first couple days after New Year's. So I said, well, we're going to be shooting in February, March, maybe, so let me just start growing this.
Plus, you also
now.
wanted that distinction between the characters in the out and
yes.
So you didn't just want people to watch and be like, is this the same dude?
Name redacted. Sorry, everybody. Yeah. If you heard a silence, that was me muting the name. It's okay. Well, there was a distinction between that. It's okay, dude. It's fine. It's post-production. Don't worry about it. When people heard silence, they're going to be like, what happened? It's like, it's because he said the name by mistake. But also now, Chris Aballo, host of Chris Aballo's podcast Experiment, has also had the beard. So it's like, oh, it's that dude again who looks like he does now doing a movie. And it's not like I'm
just dye your hair blonde.
Super artist. Again, I've done that since high school. And it's not like some artist thing where it's like I need to disappear a new character or anything like that. I just wanted it to be different overall, because there are, actors who just look how they look in everyday life who also show up in movies looking the same every single time. And there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I just thought, let me try something a little different. And the beard, and obviously the character is completely different from my character in the out.
100%.
But yeah, just the beard and the wardrobe was going to be not how I dress, because how I dress is this. This is not wardrobe. This is just the way I walk around in everyday life.
What'd you say? What was it called? Your security blanket?
Yeah, the leather jacket over the years has been referred to as my Linus blanket. Like Linus from the Peanuts, the way he carries around his blanket. That's what the leather jacket is today. Why is he wearing it indoors? None of your goddamn business.
Everybody's got a gimmick. Why
is he wearing it in July?
Mine's hoodies, so I get it. Trust me.
Yeah, it really is.
I got to tell you though, I'm really mad that my mom got rid of the blue one, because that's the film prop. That was the Clerks thing. It's apparently gone, and I'm like, no, that I could have shadow boxed that.
It could have been a Christian secret stash.
Yeah.
It should have BANJO and BUCKSHOT'S secret stash.
Oh my God. Banjo Buckshot's Fill 'em Up Station.
we got to work that into something. They have to have a thing as an homage.
But that's also the thing, though, is like I do consider that film that's not out yet my next short. But then where do those projects fit in? Because like I do put in a ton of work for Banjo and Buckshot, and even most recently Waffle Cone Willie. Like a lot of it is just like they take so much out of me. And even honestly, I do consider Waffle Cone my second short above all now. Because it came out so good. Like I was not prepared. Like that was also the thing where I was like, oh, this is going to be a Halloween video for Arcade Productions.
Right.
And it turned into, oh, I love this.
It's a Valentine's Day video.
Yeah. With how our schedules work, yeah.
No, but again, that's how it goes. I mean, look, you did the animated Christmas special, basically.
Yeah.
Banjo and Buckshot's Christmas Time caper.
Which he's in.
And I am.
In a big bad way. One of my favorite characters.
It's a great character, and I look forward to playing that recurring character in the future Banjo Buckshot projects. And same thing, like that wasn't done because of everything that happened. You want it out by Christmas. It came out a couple days after, and that's just how it goes sometimes. Like, do you sit on it until like the following November, or do you just put it out a couple of days late? Like, it's because, it's timely. You don't want to put a Christmas movie out. I mean, yes, Die Hard came out in July. We all know it's a Christmas movie, but still. Do you like sit on it for a year because like you didn't make the date? It's like, I don't know about that. I mean, look, as of when we're recording this, I don't know when Cape 241 goes out. I don't know when the first episode 2025 goes out. I'm just getting them in the bank because also that's, another part of
good to have
things don't go as planned. Exactly. Like
it's good to have things banked.
Yeah, I want to have a certain amount of episodes banked because shit happens, and when it does, I don't want to break away from it. Since I'm
doing that right now for Arcade. I'm banking like a whole bunch of like kind of talking point videos.
Right.
And I feel like that's dope because I'm trying to also change the direction of that channel a little bit. Like, yeah, I'll still do the music, but I really want to showcase the filmmaking side. Like more behind the scenes, like more stuff like this. So it's difficult.
I look forward to being on your podcast. But
100%.
I don't know. I know it's inevitable.
It'll be recorded here.
Done. But anyway, it's just coordinating all this stuff is difficult, and you run into these hurdles. And whenever nobody creates anything in a vacuum.
Nope.
Okay.
And if they do, they're freaks.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, like it's there's
even Clerks has a crew of like 5.
Yeah, exactly. There's very few people like Prince in this world who can literally do an entire...
Very fucking few.
And I don't know that he was an audio engineer, that he could have even done that on his own necessarily. As a performer, yes, but everything else...
That's why people like Kev and Robert Rodriguez will always be freaks to me, because they will always talk about, like... I mean, Kevin's since moved on to the bigger crews, but Robert just recently went back and made another El Mariachi kind of movie for $7,000.
Did he really?
Awesome. Dude... It's my new favorite thing. He put out an entire masterclass on how he fucking did it. And it's
really
gold. It's on Amazon. It's called Rebel Without a Crew. And it's actually...
I have his book when he talks about...
No, he turned it into a show.
He did? Awesome.
So,
I love it.
2 shows, actually. That's how I know my buddy Alejandro. He made a movie, The Unexpecteds. And he was known from that show. And he recruited, I think, 5 filmmakers and gave them each $7,000 to go make their El Mariachi. Wow. And in my opinion, Alejandro made the best one. And I've been a fan of his ever since. And now he's my friend. But it's just wild how that works, because I was like, oh, like I want to do that. Like that to me is the path forward.
Yeah.
But then Robert is like, I'm going to do it again. And this dude documented the whole process from how he came up with the concept to how granted, he's also Robert Rodriguez, so he had access to his own facility.
Yes, he has resources.
Yeah, he had resources, which is a huge aspect of it. But he did it again. And it just was like, oh, like this is still doable in this day and age. Yeah. It's almost like I almost want Kevin to make another Clerks type of thing again. Like I would love that. Yeah, I would love to see that. But for him to document that process, it's my new favorite thing on Amazon.
Oh, totally.
I'll watch it like every year.
I remember when I think it was called Wish I Was Here, the movie Zach Braff made.
Yeah, when he crowdfunded it.
Yes, and he did, but I missed the window. I was going to support the tier where you got to watch the entire process, but I think it was only like a 30-day window, and I missed the window. I remember talking about it on the old podcast and saying, how great is that? Because you can actually learn about the process. Now, again, a dude with resources. He'd done Scrubs for like 7-8 years, and obviously knew a lot of people, and, was able to get, financial backing and things like that. Like,
but it's
that
also
is on a different level.
Yes, but it's also cool to know that cool to know in the sense like, oh, this is doable even at that kind of level, but also, damn, Hollywood's fucked up.
Yeah, no, it's still a struggle on that kind of level. That's the other thing. Like
it's a miracle any project gets made at all. Let's be real.
No, that's exactly it.
Listen, even a movie you hate, even a movie that we hate, they still got it done.
Yeah.
You may not like Beverly Hills Cop, whatever, 4? 4. They made it.
Yeah.
And that's a feat in of its own. Did it need to get made? Whole other discussion.
Well, look, at the same time, nobody signs up to make a bad film.
No, not at all.
Plenty of things. I mean, again, going back to Kevin Pollak, when he signed up for Joanna Man, he said it was a hilarious script and Will Smith was supposed to star in it. Like, it was a whole different movie, but by the time they made it, guess what? Didn't happen that way. And didn't come out anywhere near like what the script was. I mean, hell, Kevin Smith just celebrated 15 years of Cop Out. Look at that. That was a script that was like coveted, that there was, I don't know how big of a bidding war, but like it was on the
huge
screenplay blacklist, and then it comes out and it's not what anybody expected it to be, including those who made it, because there's so many links in the chain. There's so many things that can go wrong, and there's a lot. So the fact that anything gets made is an accomplishment in itself.
Yeah, and then that's honestly kind of why I've enjoyed celebrating movies a little bit more as I get older.
No,
because
I
used to just kind of be like, nah, fuck these movies.
Yes.
Like, and don't get me wrong, there are movies that I will just not watch anymore. But like at the same time, I've since learned so much about it that like I can't knock somebody.
Right.
Like I've like even movies that I don't care about, I feel bad when I hear something bombs.
I haven't seen a Mission Impossible since the 4th one.
Yeah.
I'm just not into that franchise really. I love the 2nd one because it's an insane over-the-top John Woo movie, but I don't like any of the others. So bought the
Ghost Protocol, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's my favorite one too. Like that's where I kind of was like,
see, that's not my favorite. The 2nd one is the one he did on his. I mean, every Mission Impossible movie is the same thing. We're on our own this time.
Yeah.
Every fucking movie is the same thing, except that one he actually was on his own. Like it was just him. 3rd one is where he put together a crew.
I was excited for that one only because Brad Bird. I love Brad Bird as a filmmaker.
Because he was coming off the Incredibles, I think,
yep.
and all that. So I get that. And I went and saw it in IMAX with friends. I wasn't really interested because I really liked the 3rd one. I don't think I even finished the 3rd one.
Yeah.
But it's just not for me. But I know people who can't wait for this next one to come out. And yeah, when the last one came out and it didn't do great business, I thought, oh man, that's kind of a shame. I can completely separate something that's not for me.
Yeah.
And something that's bad. Like, just because I'm not into it doesn't mean like...
My biggest thing, I hate when I hear about an animated movie flopping, especially because I know how much work goes into that stuff.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like what was the DreamWorks movie about the teenage Kraken or something like that?
Ruby Gillman. Gillman.
I heard nothing about that until literally I was I forget what I was seeing at the theater. Was that summer of 23, I think?
Yeah, roughly.
Okay, because I think I went...
We were just coming out of the pandemic, arguably.
Okay, because I think I was seeing Indiana Jones or something like that. The last Indiana Jones.
Yeah, same
maybe
thing.
It was 2 years ago. But I remember seeing like a big cardboard standee for it, big display in the lobby, and I was like, oh, this is another. Was it DreamWorks did that, right? I remember seeing like, oh, it's another DreamWorks animated movie, and it had come out the weekend before. And I was like, this is the first I've heard of this movie. So yeah, it's a drag when stuff like that happens, where not everything is a fucking Despicable Me movie.
Yeah.
Where, and that's another thing that gets me. People are just like, oh my God, why is there something original? Okay, first of all, there have been plenty of original movies that have come out that people have not gone to see. But instead, you go to see, Minions Despicable Me, and there's going to be 14 of those movies because
I just saw
everyone goes to see, like, 17 of the top 20 grossing movies.
Sequels.
Yes.
Sequels and remakes.
Franchise movies. Yeah, exactly. 17 out of 20.
That's abysmal.
That's what everybody's going to see. So you can't really fault studios as much as we want to take shots at CEOs, but like you can't fault them for investing in that.
We're paying for it.
Yes, that's what people are showing they want to see.
People really don't again, and I'm not like trying to like speak ill of the audience. Like, that's not what this is. It's, you have so much power in what you spend.
Yeah.
And that goes outside of film. That's a big thing right now.
Look, as we're speaking right now, the Target Fast is going on right now. And it's like people are not,
easy for me. I hate Target anyway.
People are not shopping at Target for 40 days, and to show like the power that they have when it comes to being and they did it all at the last day of February, the 28th this year. It was no shopping any of the big corporations who to show them like, no, we can just not shop at Amazon, Target, Walmart, and all those
it's
all
pretty
those major
simple
ones. But it's the same way when it comes to what you want to see. If you're going to go see Despicable Me 4 and Deadpool versus Wolverine, and I mean, I'm trying to think what else came out in like 2024. Like,
just think of it and add a 3 or a 2.
Yeah, exactly. Pick your franchise and just add a number behind it. But
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the animated one, 2.
Yeah. It's like that's just how. That's you're sending a message of we want more of this, so that's why all you're getting is that. And sometimes the message.
Even like
I said it 2 years ago. After Top Gun Maverick made $1 billion, I'm like, we're gonna keep seeing legacy sequels, like a Goonies sequel is being developed 40 years later and shit like that.
Yeah, we haven't had time to talk about that.
Just because the one movie made $1 billion, now it's like, oh, this is a thing people want, and it's not necessarily.
It's not. The flop of Frozen Empire proved that.
Yes, well, Frozen Empire. You can go back 10 years ago. The Anchorman sequel made less than the first Anchorman. That was like 10 years later. The Zoolander sequel.
Zoolander. That's also the thing, though, is like you got to make it
Independence Day
good.
Resurgence. Well, of course, but at the same time, you can't just say like, "Hey, this is a known brand."
Yeah, but then also take out things that people love, like the Independence Day 2. That's a Will Smith movie.
You would think.
You take out Will Smith,
right?
People clearly don't go see it.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I hear you, and I agree. It's just, it's hard. And there was actually somebody had shared a picture on Twitter about all the next like couple releases of animated projects, and it's all sequels. And it's just
Toy Story 5, for Christ's sake. I mean, it's
and
like,
as someone who loves Toy Story, no.
I mean, at this point, I'm out. I understand, like, Mike Zapsik had a conversation. He's like, nope, I've never seen 4 and I never will because 3 was perfect and they should have left it alone. Now, I did go see 4 in the theater. I did love it. But I'm like, yeah, we don't need to revisit this again. The way the 4th one ended. Have you seen the 4th one?
I have, and you know what? I'm curious if my opinion will change because I have not seen it since the theater.
I saw it in the theater. I bought the Blu-ray because I buy everything I like. But and I haven't watched the disc since, and I haven't watched it on Disney Plus or anything like that. Or
I saw it, but I feel like I kind of forced myself to hate it because it went against everything that I had known and loved about Toy Story. And I know that sounds like such a poser thing to do, but like it's true. Like I just was like, this doesn't need to happen. And then the way that movie ends, I was not a fan of.
The 4th one.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Well, yeah,
and it is probably fundamentally a good movie because that's the thing. Pixar, even their worst movies are still good.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Which is wild to say.
Yeah, they do. They have a level of quality that no studio has been able to maintain for sure,
up until a point.
But yeah,
that just happens. But
no, of course. And same when it comes to like sequels, like nobody talks about Finding Dory or Cars 3 or anything. That stuff just happens. That people just kind of, or Monsters University. Like there's stuff that people just don't connect with, but I understand why they did. Like I saw Monsters University opening weekend. Again, bought that. I've never watched it. I enjoyed it. Kind of when I watched it, but you must.
Yes,
have.
I have to.
You were like 18. Well, for you,
yeah,
that's age
appropriate. I don't know, but
I went and saw it opening weekend with my sister because we loved Monsters Inc. And it was like it seemed kind of kiddie, but like it was fun for what it was. But
I wanted Animal House with Monsters Inc. characters. That's what I thought it was.
I was kind of hoping it would be too. For a G movie, I didn't think it was going to. Or maybe it's PG.
It was G?
Still, I don't know. Maybe it was PG. But still, for a Pixar movie, it wasn't going to be, that.
But anyway, we're talking about like these guys have like a certain quality threshold.
Yes.
But like sometimes, and yes, sometimes they don't meet that per se. But things are changing to the point that like their like next couple slated projects are just kind of all sequels.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of a bummer where I'm thinking, I don't know that audiences are crying out for it. They may be. I could be completely out of touch. I don't have kids, so I don't know what all that is about. I've never seen either Frozen movie.
I think that it's also a comfort thing because I think that a lot of people especially in an age where there's a lot of uncertainty right now.
Okay,
I think a lot of people who are becoming parents are gravitating towards showing them those movies, not only because we grew up with them, but because they're safe and they know that it's going to be X, Y, and Z. And in an age where people are painting every fucking thing as woke propaganda and all that type of shit, they're like, okay, well, Toy Story, untouched. Iron Giant, untouched, because they're all these 90s classics where they think that anything new coming out is trying to sneak in some agenda. Yeah. And I'm like, bro.
Like, no, my favorite is Star Wars, because like, if you didn't understand the structure of the original 3 Star Wars movies, then none of this should take you by surprise.
All hope is lost for you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, none of this stuff should take you by surprise. If you understand, same with X-Men and all these other, all the comic, a lot of comic
my
characters.
Favorite comments to ever see the light of day.
Go ahead.
X-Men ain't woke.
You've got to be kidding me.
Oh, it's my favorite thing in the world. It's like when I come across comments like that, I'm like, Christmas came early. It's true though, because then you get to tell them like, hey, guess what?
Dude, that was the first. I mean, I haven't seen the trailer for Shrek 5 because it's another movie. I'm like, I revisited the Shrek movies in 2024. I enjoyed them more. I enjoyed them more than I did initially, the third and fourth one. The first 2 I love. I actually love the second one a little more than the first one.
Oh, no, same. Shrek 2. But Shrek 2 builds in the best possible way.
Yes. No, I
Shrek
agree.
3 does not hold up as well.
Off. It's the
Shrek 4.
Shrek 4 is good because I like the alternate timeline kind of thing, obviously. I've been a fan of that since Back to the Future 2, and everybody has co-opted that style. So there we go. But I haven't seen the trailer, but just seeing the comments on
people are bitching about their new,
like, it better not be woke. It's like, Jesus Christ, like, why?
It
just is a catch-all term for what you don't like, in a lot
or
of cases,
don't understand. Like, I'm just like,
I don't know, man.
Why is a certain demographic telling their stories kryptonite to you?
I don't know. At the same time, how many of these dudes don't realize like Deadpool is bisexual in the comic?
Exactly. It's so funny.
The first movie gets pegged. It's like the idea that that a lot of that stuff gets lost because people want to put. Well, I mean, like the co-opting of the Punisher logo. I mean, that's a whole other rabbit hole. But it's like that tells you people don't understand. What
it's
stuff
hilarious.
Actually is the misinterpretation. Hilarious. But anyway, I was kind of going to segue to the. What probably our last point, the business and the personal part. Yeah. Which is all, I mean, all this we're talking about, yes, there's a degree of like business sense and all of that. But like, even when it comes to the projects we're working on, there are some elements that are like, and when it comes to who you're going to work with, like, it's not personal.
Never. It's never anything personal.
I mean, you did Waffle Cone Willie. I'm not a part of it. You didn't ask me to be a part of it. But I know that
I do want you to be in the sequel, though. Okay. We are doing part 2.
But I know that has nothing to do with me. I know you have an idea in your head. You have people who you want to work with, and as long as you get the people you want, then yes, I did audition, even though you didn't ask me to, for voices for Uncle Cletus for Banjo and Buckshot.
Yeah. And to this day, you're one of my favorite characters I've ever created, and you brought him to life wonderfully.
Yeah, and we literally did it on Zoom because you wanted to kind of like pull it out of me, like what you're looking for, and I was tweaking.
Did I do good with that? By the way, I never asked you because I still have our Zoom session, like the video of it, because it's fucking great. I should give it to you as just a bonus thing.
I would like to watch it again because it would be fun. People would love that for Patreon. We don't have much pre-show for this episode, so that would be a good one to give people a little behind the scenes.
What was that like? That experience, like being voice directed like that? Did I do good at that? Because I've never done that before.
I've been directed when I've been hired for voice acting before and for voiceover. So everything you were looking, I knew how to respond. I'm confident that I knew how to respond.
Actually, let me rephrase.
Go ahead.
Is line reading more normal in animation? Or in voiceover?
I don't know. I just know I don't get offended by it. Because ultimately I take it as you're trying to tell me what it is you're looking for. And if you can't, string together adjectives to describe what that is.
And I try. I do for the most part.
No, I get that. But like the line reading thing doesn't affect me. Like I don't get offended by that.
Some do.
I know actors do. No, without a doubt. Yeah.
And I try to respect the process 110%.
Totally. They're like, you're telling me how to do my job. I'm like, well, I am hired to do this job, so yes. I do want you to tell me what you're looking for.
Especially with Banjo and Buckshot being such a jokey thing.
Totally. No,
the pacing, needed to be like this. Hit these beats.
Exactly. And look, I recorded other stuff of my own separately and sent it to you later on that you used some of it because it was like, I had some ideas. Feel free. Like I sat down for about a half hour. We can
explain it. It's funny as fuck.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Like there's some stuff I thought about. And I'm like, hey man, I sat down, recorded. I just riffed for like a half hour for a couple of moments.
Yeah.
And I said, feel free to use this if you want to. If you don't, no worries. And again,
he then sends me an audio clip of him in character singing this Father Christmas parody for the scene, because in Cletus's big moment in the movie is that he gets into this bar fight that literally happens 5 minutes before the whole thing starts.
Yes.
And when he gets out of the car, originally he stumbles away in silence, but Chris gave me this hilarious recording of him drunkenly singing Father Christmas. Wait, you do it.
Father Christmas, give me a six-pack. I don't remember where it went. But even that I gave you a couple times. I gave you a very burp-laden take,
don't mess around with something. Yeah. It's so good.
I wrote a whole I should just record it in character and send it to you, actually.
You know what? That's our Christmas project. It's the Nuncle Cletus Christmas album.
Yes, we do a promo. Exactly. Like the commercials he used to wake up to in the 90s. You don't remember that.
It's his drunken attempt to try and...
Time Life presents the Nuncle Cletus.
The Nuncle Cletus. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But
anyway. Roasting on an open flame. Jack Frost roasting all his nuts. Is that the lyric?
After having a few. Yeah. Nuncle Cletus's Christmas brandy celebration. But anyway... But that was just me saying, like, if you want to use it, cool. If not, that's fine. Because I realized afterwards, I could have given him more. But because you were editing and animating the thing, especially because I knew the character was going to be walking away. So I said, I can give you stuff. You don't need to animate his mouth. We're going to see him walking away from the back. So, like, you can use whatever you want. And that's why I did one that was, like, kind of like burp hiccup combination.
So funny.
Because I'm like, he's
so
drunk.
funny.
And, people get the, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just this little thing.
He's also a very grumpy old man, so like this is the most joy I've probably portrayed in this character.
Well, he definitely is the most up character of all of those, which is fun. But anyway, I know not to take that personally based on my experience, and that took some time to, including hundreds of voiceover and voice acting auditions into the void and hearing no response whatsoever because.
That's the business.
99 times out of 100, you'll get no response. Occasionally, you'll get a response for something.
When I found that out, that kind of broke me a little bit. I was like, that's so fucked.
Okay.
Like, even everybody that auditioned for Ghostbuster Down, I sent a thank you.
And listen, that's always appreciated. There was something the fuck was that? Sorry, it sounded like a hurricane just barreled through the studio.
I think I know what it was.
I think I do too. I will tell you about this off mic. I don't want to say it. Put it this way. It's a project that if I said the name, most people know what I'm talking about, and they definitely would know the star. There was an on-camera part, let's say a featured extra, okay, that I was going to be prominently in a few shots of this film. In January, okay, I get contacted January 7th from a casting agent. Hey, so we're looking to fill this part. No lines, prominent, getting paid essentially like an extra, but like it's a featured extra part. Can you fill in your information, send us a headshot, send us a full body shot, and fill in your wardrobe measurements? But they said, I sent that back to him within maybe a half hour. And because I was in the middle of something when the email came through. But I sent it back as soon as possible. A few minutes later, I get an email back from one of the women at the casting agency say, thank you so much for your quick response. We'll have an answer by the end of because it was for the following day. It was January 7th. The shoot was on January 8th.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the woman who responded to me said, we will let you know either way today. And I was like, wow, that alone is great, especially because I'm thinking, okay, I'm doing this tomorrow, or I had something else I had an obligation to take care of the next day. But I was like, if I have to leave after I shoot this thing or the day after, then so be it. Yeah. But I may be working 12 to 14 hours tomorrow on this thing, and we'll see what happens. That was about 11 a.m. I got that first email. And then the exchange followed, between 11 and 12. I got an email at 5:30 that says, thank you so much for submitting everything. Basically,
unfortunately.
The short version is my photos and everything got all the way up to the director. Me and someone else.
Oh, shit.
And they went with the other guy. So I did make it all the way up, literally to the director, who's going to, obviously this person's going to be noticeably.
Is this going to blow my mind when I hear it?
It would have been a big deal to me personally if I'd gotten it, and you would have been like, oh shit, that's a bummer that you didn't get. Like, you're going to be disappointed.
Oh, it's Frank Oza's new movie.
I wish.
Dope.
No, you'll be sorry for me that I didn't get it when I tell you what it is. But still,
just cut it out. What was it?
Okay, so Christian insisted I tell him now, and I just cut around it. I'm sorry.
Fucking Christ.
He's very. Now I know you're upset. But you're upset for me, right? Because you know that would have been.
I'm so.
I'm
mad.
Been a big deal. I know.
Yeah.
I know. But again, I didn't have an expectation set when they reached out to me because I know how this stuff goes.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, if I don't get chosen, whatever. If I do, great. I know tomorrow the deck is clear. I got a 12 to 14 hour day because that's how long movies shoot for in a lot of cases.
It's literally like dealing with like job applications. It's like you get to the top of the pile, but hey, there may just be one other application.
But in this case, it was a look for the type of person who was going to be on camera, and I'm like, okay, well maybe the guy who they selected was like
annoys the shit out of me.
But maybe it was like a bald guy with tattoos. Like maybe that would have fit what they were looking for. Like if they're this guy would be good, but we have this guy, and the director might have looked and said, yeah, that guy's what I'm looking for. The guy who wasn't me. And that's okay. That has nothing to do with me. That's not a reflection on me at all. Yeah. But it's still, even though I didn't get the gig, it's still a step forward in that, okay, I once again have a relationship with the casting people. They have up-to-date photos and all wardrobe measurements and everything. So when something comes up, they know me. They have recent. They know I'm reliable.
Yeah, you're in the network of it now.
Exactly. In terms of contacting, they have my recent photos on file. They have my wardrobe measurements. So while they're going through stuff, and that's why they reached out to me because they were looking for someone tall. For Caucasian male is a certain
What
height.
you described to me, it works, okay?
Yeah, I know. And that's why you're upset. But something like that, I knew it's like, okay, this has nothing to do with me. So I kind of didn't feel one way or the other, especially because I had something to do the next day, regardless. If I wasn't doing this, I just had to, I had to travel for something. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm doing that tomorrow instead of Thursday, like I originally planned. Like I woke up today planning to do tomorrow. I'm now going to do that as I had planned. Yeah. But there are
life goes on.
Exactly. But also, just even with our project, there's some people where.
Let me tell you, this happened with Dad. Yeah. My dad. Oh my God, freaking. One of the tracks it's unreleased, but I'll show it to you. I think I already have.
I want some deluxe edition PM Dawn CDs coming
out. No, I think I sent you the song, Bugging Out. Did I? Oh, God, I'll send that to you.
You probably played it for your buddy Kevin Smith, but you didn't play it for me. But go ahead.
Shut up. Listen. Anyway, so so this is what I was told. So the story could be different depending on who tells it. Okay. But long story short, when I was a kid, loved me the Herbie the Love Bug movies. Loved those flicks.
Yes.
So then Dad hears... Oh, Disney's making a new one. Mm-hmm. Dad had a relationship with somebody at Disney and was like, hey, I'm in a pop thing right now. I got this track. And he created a song called Bugging Out that was written for a Herbie movie. And they didn't use it. That just...
Was it for Herbie Fully Loaded?
Yeah, it was for Herbie Fully Loaded. Or at least what at the time Herbie was Fully Loaded was supposed to be.
Right, whatever it was in the early 2000s. Because that was in development, I know, for a while.
So for a long time.
Was there a 90s one that didn't come to be?
So he had pitched it to their soundtrack people and they just didn't use it. And that's it happens in music.
It's totally, it happens in everything. And again, this is one of the things, as I started saying earlier, that like Kevin Pollak had talked about, because he said, when it comes to, casting, he's like, too many times I've gone in to read for something and then I don't get it. And, it's hard to not let that get you down. Rejection is the job. Yeah. It is when it comes to acting. Rejection is it.
That's why people say you have to develop a thick skin in this industry. Because you're going to deal with rejection 99% of the time.
It doesn't have to do with you. And the funny thing is with him, he was producing a movie. I think it was, which I still haven't seen. I should actually. It's a film called Columbus Circle, I believe, that he was producing. He said it's weird being on the other side of that table and knowing what it is I want and seeing these people come in who are talented, but they're not what I'm looking for. So he says, kind of giving me perspective like, oh, right, it's not that. And look, not too early Cape episode, a Cape episode circa 2016, which are, sorry, they're not behind a paywall, they're just all vaulted. The public feed starts at 101, 5 years ago when the show really became what it is. Nothing wrong with the original run of Cape. It's just like that is the starting point in a lot of ways. Episode 101, episode 101 from 2020. But anyway, friend of mine, character actor Rick Scarry, who'd been working for years. He worked in radio, didn't start acting and living in Los Angeles until in his 40s. And had been in a bunch of stuff. Had been in The Drew Carey Show, Murphy Brown, had appeared in tons of sitcoms. Was the door guy in Naked Gun 33 1/3, might be best known for. It's just like, we need to get inside. Yeah, and I'm Robert De Niro. Mr. De Niro, we need to get inside. He's that guy who doesn't let Leslie Nielsen into the award ceremony. But he's been in a bunch of stuff, and he's great. But he was up for, I don't remember what the movie was, but it was a Ridley Scott film.
Okay.
And he said it was the strangest thing walking into an audition with two other people who look very much like you. He said, sitting in a waiting room. And he said, this has never happened to me in my career. He said, Ridley Scott comes out and says to us.
To Pollock, right?
No. To Rick.
To Rick.
And the other two guys there, he's like, gentlemen, I just want to let you know that you are here because your talent is not in question whatsoever. He said, you could remind one of the casting people of a brother-in-law that they hate, of somebody they knew growing up. Something it has nothing to do with you whatsoever. So whatever happens from here on out, just know it has nothing to do with your talent. Now these are all mature guys. I think he was in his 50s at this point, so it's not like these are you're just starting out.
But you're giving that speech to people who get it.
But also for a dude at the level of like Ridley Scott in like late 90s, early 2000s to even come out and actually say that, to be that generous and just be like, look, it has nothing to do with your talent.
This is just the best.
It's just like the reason two of you don't get cast has nothing to do with the two of you. And that is something to keep in mind. And we've had that discussion when it comes to working with different
with different people. Yeah,
exactly. And some people aren't receptive to that. Like I'll give you an example. So my next short, Ugo is in it, but he has a smaller role. Mm-hmm. And I talked to him about that in advance, just like it's nothing to do with you, nothing to do with you. It's just I want you to play his character. He wants to play the character,
and he will.
And he will, yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's also a character who's not likable. So I had to trim, at the advice of my co-producer, I had to trim it down a little bit because the character, too much of the character could be off-putting, and we don't want that. So I let him know, like, listen, the draft you got.
True, but everyone loves a good villain. It's not necessarily a villain, but like based on the context.
I mean, it could be, but at the same time, I understood the point.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. So I wanted to let him know that. And obviously, he didn't take any kind of offense to it because he doesn't expect to necessarily be part of everything. Even when it came to different people I'm working with. I mean, look, I didn't even want to be in this thing. I had even said to you when you were talking about what do you do
you
next?
Asked me.
I said, oh, well, for the out, I wanted you to be in that. But even when it came to being in the second one, I was like, no, I'm just going to direct this one. And you, among many other people, just said, no, you have to be in it. You have to be in it. And I'm like, it's not really a part for me. And then I win an acting award for the out, and everyone's like, see? I'm like, yeah, all right, fine. But,
it was the best I told you so I've ever experienced in my 30 years of existence.
Everybody else who told me, like, see, this is why. Now, at that point, I had changed one of the parts for me and started writing it for me.
Yeah, but it's still great.
No, I get it. And it actually, it made the script better because it went from being two different characters to my character and then the other the actor who's going to be working with me in the majority of it. So even in those cases, it was a matter of, like, there were discussions about casting, and then I'm like, well, should I now not be in it? And some of that discussion was like, well, maybe we should look at somebody else. And I'm like, maybe, but at this point, I've kind of already written it for me. Like, do we do that? Do you have somebody in mind? Or are we just trying to, attach somebody else? So even when it comes to those questions, it's like, well, what is best ultimately for this project?
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, one of the delays was we had a cast member who couldn't do it. Had originally, she was available.
Yeah,
to
I remember the story.
Yes, and then she was not available to do it, and then
I'm a producer on Because of Dick. I'm a producer on Untitled Film.
Producer on the muted project you just mentioned.
So I know the story. Right. It's just like these things happen.
Yes, exactly. Like, and it's like
people.
No hard feelings.
Casts get shuffled all the time,
without a doubt, and that's just how it goes. And it wasn't. And look, even when I had this discussion with
crew gets shuffled all the time.
Oh yeah,
it's this is just the business we're in.
Exactly, and that was the discussion I even had with this actress. I can say that that you know, listen, if you can't commit to it, that's okay. Or if like it was a very nice, like, you know, the parting of the ways, so to speak.
Yeah.
Just be like, if you can't, like, that's okay, understood.
Bye for now, but see you later.
Exactly. Like you, and has another gig. Like acting is one of the things among others that she does. And I was like, listen, completely understood. I wouldn't expect you to prioritize your, you know, this over your primary gig. That would be unreasonable for me. Yeah. So if you're saying you can't, hey, that's all right. And then it's just a matter of, you know, finding somebody else, because at that point it was ready to go also with her in place. So, I mean, that stuff just happens. And unfortunately, there are people when they have seen you work with other people, or, you know, take it the wrong way. Unfortunately, you know, you have that to keep it vague, but, you know, someone who worked on.
No, let's just there. But yeah, it's difficult. And I'll be honest, like there's some times where like you have to reflect and you can look and be like, okay, I was at fault there for something. But like there's some things that just can't be helped. And even when that happened, there was I reflected, because I just told you this off air, what happened. And I just was like, man, I'm kind of bummed. Like, yeah. But at the same time, like when it was explained to me, I can also understand why this is where this gravitated from. But sometimes those kinds of things are just for the best. And what I loved is that it's not a full dissolving of a relationship. It's more just like, maybe not right now, which I'm like, you know what? That's understandable. Like that's fine. That's fine.
Nobody, I mean,
it's I still root for everybody.
Of course. Like nobody wants hurt feelings. Nobody wants to get
not
them.
At all.
Nobody wants to feel them. And granted, you and I aren't.
We're not
jaded enough to. To
be and like, also, I don't care, fuck that guy. Also not exchanging millions of dollars on the table yet.
Yes, this is what Will Smith doesn't want to do Juwanna Mann anymore.
Yeah, no, but like this is the wonderful thing that I think a lot of filmmakers at our level seem to forget, is that there is a beauty in these no budget things.
Yes,
like there is a real safety net of not fully having to worry about financial repercussions that could come with crazy situations like that. What we're talking about very vaguely. But like, if this was a thing where we had made 3 $30 million movies together and there was money on the table and it was like, that gets ugly real quick.
Yeah.
And
always.
I'm not saying that like things, we want to get to that level. We're all working towards that. But like, I'm grateful that it happens now so that we can maybe regroup and then come back and be like, hey man, I think this would be great for you.
And in conjunction with that, I like the fact that the level we are at now, and I'm grateful to be here. I do not want things to be bigger than they are right now, but I love that we're.
I don't think I could handle it.
Well, trust me, as someone who's a couple of years older than you, like it all makes sense in the progression, in the arc of where things are going. Because I couldn't be sitting here now and do this 10 years ago when I was doing, you know, I was doing a version of Cape 10 years ago, but not like I am now. And if everything else was around, you know, that I don't know, it would have been different. And I'll relate it to Cape in just a second, but the idea of, well, things are small enough now that we can pick and choose the people we want to work with. We don't need to hire people just because of skill or because of budget or because of things like that. We can approach people we want. And, you know, it's not something I want to lose, but like, of the 4 principal characters in my next film, like I'm one of them, and then there are 3 other actors. I sat with 2 of the other actors one-on-one and went over the script. I went over everything and make sure that they both had angles on it. I like the angles, and as the director, I'm like, yes, okay, you're in. I knew this anyway, and I wrote this with you in mind, but I'm very happy that, yes, we're going to do this. And I've worked with them before, worked extremely well with them. I think they're both way talented, so that wasn't in question either. So I love that stuff has come together. In a similar way, even when it comes to the stuff we've done and gigs that have come about or people we've met as a result of it, I don't know if I would have been able to handle that sooner or if things were big. Even in terms of this show, I don't know if things...
There's a progression upwards in film that'll always be universal.
But in immediate period.
Yeah, in the immediate period, but in general too, because like, let's say, because this is the path. Most people will work at like a low entry level position in film, like a production assistant or anything.
Right.
And then work their way up through the ranks to in theory, become like a director or a writer, but like with a director that's much more who you know and then working your way up through it.
Right.
Although there is a path to being a first AD. Not for me.
Right.
But
there is a track record.
There is a track
to become a director or writer.
Yeah, there is a track record to follow. But at the same time, oh man, I had a point and it was so good. And it just went away like a fart. Fuck.
Or was as a quick tangent while you recover your thought. Interrupt me if you do. But even when it relates to this show, because as we've said many times over, you never know who's watching and listening.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, go ahead.
No, that's it. It's like you never know where anybody can end up.
For sure.
And that's where it was. So you can't thrust somebody who's never been on a set into the position of a director. You'll scare the fuck out of them.
Oh, for sure.
Because that's what you think you're going to do at first. It's going to sound so bad, but you need to get the bullshit out of your system. Go literally get your iPhone. Don't worry about your audio. Don't worry about your shot composition just yet. Go out and just make as much of the crap that's in your head as you can.
Yeah.
And I'm only calling it crap because you're going to look back on it and it's going to be crap.
Yeah.
But it's going to be art to you in the moment, and that's all that's important.
Exactly. Dude, that's... For the first 100 episodes of Cape, it's just like, I'm proud of that time.
Yeah.
But it doesn't represent what the show is now, and I don't feel compelled to have it be publicly available because the only thing of the first 100 episodes that gets any attention is the best of 2015, which was the Skid Row Studios era. And that's fine. I've considered it was something I was going to do in 2024. I was going to like chip away at over the year. I was going to put together an audio-only compilation because the show was audio-only, except for the Skid Row era. And it was going to be best of the rest. And I was going to go through all the other episodes because there were 42 episodes of Skid Row Studios. There's 58 other episodes that were audio-only. I was going to go back and listen to all of those, which I have never listened to since they went out because I used to obviously edit the shows.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're talking about episodes I've listened to in between 8 and 11 years. And
it's an archive.
Yes. Yeah, and I was going to pick and choose and put out like a best of just to represent that early era. That testing phase. Cape 1.0, version 1, the Bronze Age of Cape.
I like that.
What else?
But no, I think that...
Or the Bronze and Silver, excuse me.
I think that'd be dope.
I would like to, but it's something I'd have to chip away at because I can only listen to me for so long. These shows are so good because I can disassociate because there's other people on the show, not just me. There was a lot of solo in my apartment talking into a microphone in the first episodes of Cape.
It's those type of shows.
Yeah, like I like doing the occasional solo show that I've done here in the last 5 years.
Anybody who does a podcast solo is a madman.
It's
Bill Burr. I'm looking right at you, bro.
Yeah, but he can pull it off.
He can pull it off, but he's still crazy.
But yeah, for sure. But I mean, for me, it needs to be something like the handful that I've done in the last 5 years have all been when I've had something personal to say. But so anyway, taking all of that into account, when it comes to the fact that now the show is what it is, it has its core group of contributors.
Yeah.
Okay. And I also know what I'm doing.
Cape has more of an identity now.
Exactly. Now the thing is, take it back to, let's say I had a couple studios reach out to me when Skid Row Studios closed in 2015. To bring the show there. Now, it could have strictly been a business decision. I don't know if they were listening. I do not have a context for how they found me. They could have found me from the Skid Row Studios website. Maybe word traveled to like, oh, the studio is shutting down. Let's try to grab some business. Maybe they were listening or watching or whatever because during that era, the shows, there was video. So they went up on YouTube. And I don't know how they knew me, but they reached out to me. Now, here's the thing. As I sit here in 2025, this is not bragging. This is how things go all the time and as they should. Mm-hmm. There are people I know you know of, and I told you this back in 2022, and you were surprised by it. There's a person who we know, not personally, we know of in Netflix,
yes,
who has kept an eye on the show. There are people at SiriusXM who have. Did you have to do that? Now I got to edit again. You gotta stop. I'm
just fucking with you, bro. I knew you were gonna cut around anyway.
Jesus Christ.
But anyway, no, when you told me that though, I geeked. We both geeked. But
well, it's something that I didn't know this person was paying attention, but I know who they are because of other things they've worked on. A history of things they've worked on.
Also representative of niche knowledge that you and I both know.
Oh, for sure. We knew who this person was.
Because like nobody knows who this dude is.
Exactly.
No offense, like, but
since then they might because of
bigger
other
things.
Yes,
Yeah.
because of bigger things. But,
I even surprised Kevin with that. I don't know if I ever told you that.
Oh, I don't even know that Kevin knows who I am. That's what I'm saying. That's
No,
the funny part.
not that. With the guy, yeah,
okay.
Because he called him.
Right. Oh, yes, I do remember that.
Yeah.
You told me that because that's why you were surprised. I knew who he was.
Yeah.
Because you brought it up. But yeah, and there are people at SiriusXM as well who pay attention to the show, who know who I am.
That's cool.
But again, that's how it's supposed to be. To keep perspective, and that's why it's not that I'm unaffected. Like those things, it's gratifying to hear, but it doesn't make me change what I'm doing on the show because that would be the opposite of what it is. And also the idea that if it's like, oh, people from Netflix and SiriusXM are paying attention to Cape or know who Chris Aballo is, it's like, yes, everybody's always looking for talent. Of course, they should. Me and 1,000 other people. So I don't look at it as being, it's a compliment to me and to what we have here with this show, but that's exactly what they do. They are looking for talent. They are looking for people. So it would be weird if they weren't paying attention to people who they thought have something. And the fact that I'm one of those people feels great, but it doesn't change the direction or the style or anything like that. And it can't because I don't want to change what drew people in the first place. It's not that I'm playing to it, but now I have this rhythm. Whereas, if at the end of 2015 when Skid Row Studios closed, if someone had approached me, I would have known how to do this nearly as well 10 years ago as I know how to do it now. Now, if something came through on one of these, I would not only have a take on what I could bring to it, but I also know people I can talk to and who would want to be involved. Like let's put it out there as a hypothetical. I'm not courting it like someone trying to, get Muppet movies and run Warner Brothers, but
I'm only trying to make Muppet movies. That's the only ulterior motive, bro.
But I'm just saying, like, if SiriusXM said we want a Chris Aballo show, not Cape, we want you to do something. Like, I know people who I'd want to be involved. I know people who I want to be. I know staff I want to hire. I know people I want to hire as writers. I know people who I'd want as on-air talent. Like, I know people who I want to be involved in that. It
would be your Muppet show, bro.
It is now. So that's why I'm like, if I need to do a version of that, like, can I still do Cape or is this going to be an exclusive thing? Like, I don't know. So, especially because they've skewed. And listen, that's another thing that's happened over time. In the last couple of years, like a lot of, SiriusXM has approached a lot of podcasts, and they've got deals with a lot of podcasters now for hosting stuff exclusively, and
it's a big thing now.
Things have evolved, so it's not unheard of, and it's not completely surprising, but at the same time, it's of course, because we say it tongue in cheek, but there is no show like Cape. But at the same time, they don't have another show that's like Cape, so why wouldn't they be looking for something that is different from the stuff they already have? So it's interesting, but once again, bringing it back to kind of doing what it is you want to do and pursuing it, because no one knows what the next thing is.
Nope.
And that's the whole, like, people kind of forget that nobody knows what's coming next. Nobody knows what the next trend is. Nobody knew a B character like Iron Man was going to kickstart this entire, the next 15 years of films.
Nobody would have assumed.
Nobody knew that was it. Nobody expected, a $7,000 feature and what was Clerks, like $5,000, $4,000?
No, Clerks is $27,000.
2,700?
Yeah, no, 27,000.
Oh, was it
film stock?
Oh, right. That's right. No one expect these small movies were then going to, create these filmmakers who have these careers and all the things to do now. Even those guys didn't know that.
No,
at the time, and
they took the risk because they wanted to. Exactly,
and they didn't know 30 years later what they would be doing. So nobody knows, And I've had this conversation with so many people when it comes to stuff like, the superhero thing is kind of cratered in the same way Westerns were dominant for about 15 years, and then, or longer even. And then in the 70s, people were kind of tired of it. So then you had guys like, Coppola and Scorsese and these other filmmakers who had a different
waiting on this, and I'm waiting on it again.
And we've said that, like, nobody knew they wanted, Mean Streets until they had it. Nobody knew, the world didn't know it wanted Jimi Hendrix until, he showed up. No one knew they wanted.
That's what I'm banking on,
Oasis,
dude. Like,
until they showed up.
That's what I'm hoping happens here. Like, no,
exactly.
I'm hoping that like these. I've pitched you some ridiculous film concepts.
You have, but you pitched me some that would be like, okay, this is a mainstream hit movie. Like, this has all the elements.
I've pitched you some mainstream things, but I've pitched you some concepts where you're just like, what? Yeah. But in a good way. Is anybody
gonna watch this?
Yeah, but in a good way.
Other than us.
And
like a 5-minute biopic.
Like a 5-minute biopic.
I love it.
I still want to make it.
I love that your head is crashing into the the guard because you're like, I don't need to worry about engineering this thing.
Yeah, it's not my problem.
It's mine.
I'm sorry, dude. But no, I just it's just crazy. This is one of the most fun episodes I've had of this show.
I'm so happy that you have, and that's the other thing. It's like I want to make sure the show progresses and that it keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, no.
And here we are. But listen, I'm glad you had a blast. We're going to continue. We're going to go out and get some
Yeah,
food,
we're going to go get food.
Late. We've been here for a couple hours, unsurprisingly. So it's...
Oh, shoot.
We did it again. What did I tell you?
Oh, my God.
But listen, the show will be back next Monday with yet another episode. And again, do you want to follow everybody, including the show? Links in the description. Watch the short film, The Out. Stay tuned on the socials for everything else that's happening. And subscribe to the Cape Clips channel as well. Link down below where you can find clips of the show because that's what podcasts do now. There's the main channel that has the episodes. And there's a clips channel that's completely separate. And we have one too. So there you go. Check that out. And follow Christian, of course. Follow me. Follow the show at CAPEPOD. And we'll be back next Monday with yet another episode. And once again, who knows what I'll look like because I don't know in what order these episodes are going out. So we
Blonde
shall
hair
see.
with highlights.
Could be. Oh my God, I could be Ginger. Could you imagine?
If you show up, Ginger.
I kind of want that be the least expected thing. I kind of want to do it.
Oh man, that's like if you showed up bald, bro. Like it would scare me.
I was joking with people that I'm gonna bald my head, keep the beard, and fuck you all up because it'd be like, oh my God, he inverted his face. Like that's insane. I
can see you doing bald pretty well.
I had a shaved head in 2009. It actually works for me, I think. But whatever.
Hey, it's a look.
Exactly. But it's a choice. It really. I mean, in some cases it's not, but it's like you need to really be all in on it as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, that's it. We hope you enjoyed the show. Subscribe, follow, all that good stuff, and yeah, we'll see you next week. So until next time, for Christian Cortez, this is Chris Aballo, and this was yet another experiment.